Yo, what is going on, guys? This is your boy CJ Beasley here, back again. Today we have yet another battle video from the ICBA. If you guys are excited, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, or if you guys just haven't subscribed yet, as it really does help me out a lot, so I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, guys, our week 2 opponent is going to end up being Dom, coach of the New Jersey Naganadevils. I believe that's how you say it. He's a great battler. Definitely go check him out. His link will be down in the description below as always. But just kind of hopping into things, looking at his team, he has a Genesect, Latios, Mega Aerodactyl, Buzzwole, Ninetales, Alola Muck, Vaporeon, Ditto, Mesprit, Golurk, and Alolan Sandslash. Just looking at his team initially, I noticed that the Victini looks really good here. And he also does have like a good amount of Stealth Rocks options, so I'm definitely gonna have to have that in the back of my mind, as well as having the Aurora Veil option, obviously, with the Ninetales. So but just hopping right into things that we are bringing. First up, we got Aaronola, the Milotic, with the Flame Orb, Marble Scale, with Skull, Toxic, Recover, and Haze, with 244 HP, 244 defense, 20 special defense, with a Bold Nature. This basically can sit in front of his entire team. The only things that it doesn't really appreciate are like like the Latios, I guess, but he doesn't have a grass type and he doesn't have an electric type. I don't believe so, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he doesn't have a grass or an electric type, so Milotic is looking really good here. Like I said, the only thing it doesn't really taking hits from is the Latios, but it still can take Dracos as long as he's not like a Calm Mindset or whatever. And this is my primary check to stuff like Buzzwole. It can check the Mega Aerodactyl fairly easily, as long as he's not like a Home Claws. If he's a Home Claws set, it becomes a little bit tougher depending. But this is primarily my check to the physical walls, and he kind of just runs through his team. Not runs through, but it kind of slowly pushes its way through his team, as he doesn't really have any way to deal with it. So I definitely like this Milotic set here. Next up, we got Jake Arrieta, the Florges, with the Leftovers, Flower Veil, with the Moonblast, Defog, Protect, and Wish, with 244 HP, 10 defense, 4 special attack, 124 special defense, and 36 speed, with the Calm Nature. This thing is really good against stuff like Buzzwole. It's also really good against the Latios. It's my primary check to Latios, as well as like the Mega Aggron, but it's primarily this. And just being able to Wish Pass, especially in the Mega Aggron, kind of makes my that core unstoppable as long as I play it right. Moonblast basically hits his entire team aside from like Sandslash, but I'm not too worried about that. And Defog, obviously, to get rid of the Aurora Veil, the Stealth Rocks, the Spikes, or whatever he decides to bring, so that's also very nice. And next up, we got Reese Hoskins, the Darkrai, with the Fire EMZ. This is a really weird set. I'm just gonna tell you guys this right now. It's a really weird set with the Fire EMZ, with the Bad Dreams, obviously, with Dark Pulse, Incinerate, Will-O-Wisp, and Substitute, with 100 HP, 12 defense, max special attack, 4 special defense, and 140 speed with a Timid Nature. This outspeeds his entire team, obviously, outside of Scarfers. And kind of the idea behind the set is Z Incinerate, basically Oko's Genesect. I believe Raw Incinerate is also Oko Genesect, but at Oko's Genesect, it can Oko a Buzzwole, can Oko a Ninetales, and obviously can Oko a Sandslash. And then Will-O-Wisp can burn his offensive threats, especially if I'm behind the Substitute. So if he brings in like a Mega Aerodactyl on this to break the Substitute, I can Will-O-Wisp it to burn it, to cripple it basically. And then it also, since Alolan Muck's kind of like a really good check to a Darkrai, I can burn that thing. I can use Incinerate, a Raw Incinerate, to get rid of its berry if he's a berry set, and just kind of nullify that thing basically, so it doesn't really have value. So that's kind of the idea going into this. I was gonna go with Banded Aerodactyl this week instead of this Darkrai. Just basically because like spamming Stone Edge was just so good against his team as long as I was hitting him. But I decided to go with this instead because that's basically what my front office said. So I decided, I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a weird set, but maybe it'll work. So anyways, moving on, we got the Victini Andrew McCutcheon with the Choice Scarf, Victory Star, V-Create, Bolt Strike, U-Turn, and Brick Break with max attack for special defense and max speed with a Jolly Nature. This basically is a pretty basic set, but I basically just wanted to hit as hard as I could, and I wanted to outspeed Scarf Genesect, so I went max speed, and I just poured the rest into special defense. Primarily so the Genesect couldn't get a special attack boost on me, because I'd rather get a physical attack boost. V-Create, Bolt Strike, and U-Turn basically run through his entire team, and I also have the Brick Break on there, as I couldn't really think of any other good moves to throw on there, and the Brick Break obviously breaks substitutes. You can hit the Genesect decently, you can hit the Ninetales decently. Obviously I'd rather click V-Create, but like I'm not too afraid of getting scarfed into Brick Break. It's just what I'm trying to say, and stuff like that. So V-Create, Bolt Strike, and U-Turn basically run through his entire team if played properly, so I definitely expect this to put in work. Next up, we got JT Real Muto, the Mega Aggron, making its debut with the Aggronite. Sturdy, obviously, before Mega Evolves with the Heavy Slam, Fire Punch, Roar, and Stealth Rocks with max HP, 12 attack, 4 defense, 196 special defense, and 44 speed with an Impish Nature. This can take hits from the Latios. It can take hits from pretty much everything on his team. And just kind of, if I can get Stealth Rocks up, I can basically I can basically spam Roar and just kind of chip down his entire team, and then just Wish Pass back into this thing to get it healthy again from my my Florges. That's just kind of the idea going into this. Heavy Slam plus Fire Punch basically is everything not named Vaporeon, so I can also roar that thing out, or I can go into my my Milotic every time on Vaporeon anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, like I said, behind the set is primarily to take hits from the Latios, but it can take hits from anything. It can take flamethrowers from a Genesect if he doesn't have the special attack boost. Like it's flamethrowers are 3 KO, so that's super nice, and just stuff like that. So definitely expect this to put in work though. And finally, we have Mark Franco, the Delmize with the Culverberry, Steelworker with the Power Whip, Anchor Shot, Synthesis, and Earthquake. I meant to change that to Knockoff, and in hindsight, like, it didn't really matter, but I really wish like I would have changed it to Knockoff. But either way, it has 244 HP, 68 attack, and 196 special defense with a Adamant Nature. Like I said, this is supposed to be Power Whip, Anchor Shot, Synthesis, and Knockoff. Obviously, with it having that coverage, it basically gets walled by the Muck, but I have switch-ins to that thing, so I'm not too worried about it. My Aggron also switches into Muck every time. I forgot to mention that, but like it's basically free against Muck. So, and if it's a curse set, I can roar it out anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. But with this coverage, it basically covers the entirety of his team, aside from the Muck. I mean, Muck doesn't want to take Anchor Shots. It does about 35%. And Genesect also can take hits, but, you know, like, it's primarily there to pressure the Vaporeon, take hits from the Vaporeon. So, but anyways, I really wish I left on the Rapid Spin over the Earthquake and the Knockoff, but, you know, what are you going to do? Hindsight's 2020. I'm recording this after. But I really wish I had left the Rapid Spin on it, but you know, I added the Florges last second because it was supposed to be regular Aerodactyl, Choice Banded Aerodactyl instead of the Florges, but I decided I needed Florges, so I put Defog on Florges and took off Rapid Spin. So, but anyways, guys, excited to hop into the battle. So let's just do that right now. Alright guys, so just to give you a heads up, I just want to let you guys know that we are playing on Showdown. It wasn't my first choice. I honestly like hate playing on Showdown. I feel like I play super poorly on Showdown. But my opponent didn't get his team gen in, and I offered to give him the information of this generator that I know that could like generate super quickly, but he just wanted rather play on Showdown. So we ended up playing on Showdown. I was just like, whatever, I can deal with it. But anyways, guys, so looking at the matchup, he brought Genesect, Ditto, the Latios, the Golurk, Vaporeon, and Mega Aerodactyl. So kind of surprised not to see the Buzzwole or the Ninetales or even the Muck, as my Darkrai basically becomes useless, and I really wish I brought the Aerodactyl at this point. But either way, Just kind of in terms of leads, every mock I did, I led the Victini, so that's just what I'm going to lead here. So let's play. Good luck to my opponent. So here, like I said, I'm going to lead Victini as he does lead the goaler, so I'm just going to freely U-turn out, just kind of scout out the damage. As I do just go into MILOTIC, I don't expect him to want to go for anything too crazy. So I just toss off the Toxic as it was pretty free. I don't know what's going on with this recording, but anyways, I'm just going to go out into my Delmise as he does double out into his Genocide, which is a really good play. And unfortunately, I just kind of scouting what the Genocide wants to go for. And so I'm synthesizing up, just kind of seeing if he is Choice Scarfed or not. And I do just go out into my Florges at this point. And so here, I'm going to just protect. And we do see the U-turn, so we know he's not Choice Scarfed. And I'm just going to go out into my Aggron at this point, take the U-turn if that's what he decides to go for, the Iron Head or whatever. And so here, he's just going to go out into his Golurk. And I decided I wanted my Stealth Rocks up, so I decided to stay in and click those. And so here I'm just going to go back out into my MILOTIC as he does toss off the Toxic, which obviously fails. And I will just get a free Scald off here, I believe. Yep, Scald. And it does indeed burn, so that's kind of unfortunate for my opponent. But at this point, I'm just going to go out into my Darkrai as I was kind of scouting what he wanted to go for, and he just went for the U-turn. And so here he goes out into his Aerodactyl. Let me pause this. So he goes out into his Aerodactyl, and I was kind of deciding like if I want to switch out into something or what. But he was obviously going to go for the Stone Edge. I could have gone out into my Aggron, and that was honestly the play I should have made. But I was legitimately just clicking buttons too fast. So here I decided to sack my Darkrai, which was a mistake. And he goes for the Stone Edge, and it does land obviously. And so here I'm just going to go my MILOTIC and just click Recover pretty freely. As he does just go for the Stone Edge again. And I do get the Recover off. And I will click Recover yet again, I believe, or I go for Toxic. Yeah, I go for Recover. And then I believe I go for Toxic, or I go onto my Florges. Yeah, at this point I'm just kind of clicking buttons. Like, I'm not really playing too smartly. So, but either way, I just go onto my Florges. I go for the Protect. And he does just go for the Side Shock yet again. And so here I'm just going to go out of my Aggron and just sack this thing off. He goes for the Side Shock, and I know like whatever he wants to go for, he'll KO me with like a Draco or whatever. But he goes for the Z Hydra Vortex, so I know he's a like Z Surf. So here I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I don't pressure him out, unfortunately. I should have saved my Darkrai, but like I said, I'm just kind of clicking buttons at this point. He drops the Draco on my MILOTIC's face. Not ideal at all, but here I can go out into my Florges and get a free Wish Up, which is not too bad. So he goes for yet another Draco Meteor. And I know I can easily click the Wish as I will live one Side Shock. And here I'm just going to click Protect, I believe. Yep. And so he goes out into his Mega Aerodactyl, obviously protecting that. As I will just go into my Delmise at this point, just sack it off, trying to get in my Victini. And so here I just go for the Bolt Strike, I believe. Yep, I go for the Bolt Strike. It does over half, obviously, because I have the Stealth Rocks up. And I go for it again, and I do miss the second one, which is like super unfortunate. It just makes, like, it kind of just annoys me at this point. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. Okay, so missed the Bolt Strike, which was like super annoying. I'm just kind of getting annoyed like about this whole situation. And like just the fact that we're playing on Showdown, whatever. But either way, so I go for the Bull Strike, I miss, he goes for the U-turn, he goes down to Golurk, and at this point I just decided to sack my Victini. Not a whole lot more it could do. Like I mean, it was valuable to level, but I was just kind of getting annoyed. So but here I get a free switch in my MILOTIC as he does just click the Earthquake, as I do get a free recover off, so I will click that again. And he does go for the Dynamic Punch actually, which confuses me, which is like super scary. And I will just go for recovery here. I break through the confusion. He goes for the Earthquake. And here I believe is a pretty free Scald, I believe, if I remember correctly. No, I go for Toxic. And he goes for an Earthquake. So as long as I can break through this turn and get recover off, I should be fine. But of course I don't break through, or I do break through. What am I thinking of? Maybe later. But he goes for the Thunderbolt. I know I can live one. Oh, and this is the turn I hit myself in confusion. If I could have gone to recover off there, I would have been fine. But you know, it's just kind of how this game's been going. But either way, I just go for. He goes for the Thunderbolt. I go into my floor, just trying to get a wish off. And so here he goes out into his Mega Aerodactyl. And at this point, like, basically he wins with Stone Edge, but he actually misses his Stone Edge. And so I do get a free Moonblast off, and I do KO him. So it's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, even though this has been going like super poorly for me. I'm just kind of triggered at this point. But here I just will go for the Protect, try to get as much HP as back, see if I can live an Earthquake at all. I toss up a Wish. I do not live, unfortunately, but that's totally fine because I get a Wish off into my Milotic next turn. And so I will go for the recovery. He goes for the Dynamic Punch, obviously trying to confuse me, as I will get the Wish back. And so as long as I can break through the confusion, I should be fine, as I do go for the Scald here. And so this gives him a pretty free switch into his Genocide. But at this point, as long as I can break through the confusion, I should be fine. And as the confusion does end here, so I get a free recover off, as I will just whittle him down with the burn. And so Milotic picking up his second kill technically, because it was the one that burned Genocide, and it also killed the Golurk. So that is absolutely perfect. And here I know I can live a Draco pretty easily, as I will just click recover, just like as like Draco was really his only play, as long as he didn't have Thunderbolt. So I will click the Toxic at this point. Yep. And so I can just kind of recover spam him. And so he goes for another Draco Meteor, as I do go for the recover, and he will die to Toxic. So Milo gets his third kill of the season, which is absolutely amazing. Like, I did not expect it to do so good, but you know. But here we go for the Toxic, I believe, and here I'm just gonna speed it up. So okay, so I'm just gonna explain what's happening at this point. So it goes on for like 40 more turns or something stupid like that. So basically, what he can do is he can keep switching in and out, and I can't really do anything about it, because like basically he can keep Wish Passing back and forth, and I can't really do anything about it, because like, you know, all I have is Scald, Toxic, and Haze, and then recover obviously. So basically he's just trying to burn out my turns of recover. So that's just what's gonna happen here. So you'll see it. I don't know if I should fast forward it. Yeah, I'll fast forward it. And let's go turn 76, because I think that's as long as it goes. Alright, so yeah, so at this point I'm out of recovers. So all I can do is like Haze and Scald and whatever. So at this point he really does have the game won. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm out of recovers at this point, like I said. He's just going to keep clicking Scald. So we will lose this 2-0. Kind of like, I'm legitimately salty, but you know, it is what it is. I agreed to showdown. If I wasn't okay with that, I should have just said no. But either way, good game to my opponent. Definitely not too upset about it, but I was a little bit salty initially, after at least. But we will lose this 2-0, like I said. We're just gonna let these run out, try to stall as long as we can, but he's basically got this one, as he's just gonna keep switching just so the Toxic doesn't rack up. But yeah, super kind of an annoying game, but you know, it is what it is, like I said. Not too much I could do about it, but so I believe this turn is the last turn of the game, maybe next turn. Goes for the Scald. Yeah, I should die to burn. Next turn I die to burn. Okay. Yeah, so here I just click the Scald, whatever, it didn't matter. And he will KO me with the Scald. So like I said, good game to my opponent. He played this like super well, honestly, and I just played awful. Like I just kind of played with my head on my butt, honestly. So hopefully we can get him next time. But either way, I'm gonna head out. Subscribe if you guys are new, like I said, or if you just haven't done it yet, please subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. So anyways guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.